Hello, Sleep Grandma here with you. First, I want to say a disclaimer. Everything I say is not because I know everything, but it's just my experience, what my experience has been with my stuff. So you can take my advice with a grain of salt, or maybe you'll get some ideas for yourself, for your life. So I'm hoping to help someone with this, or maybe someone's going through the same thing, and maybe it'll give you some ideas. I wanted to speak on the third part of forgiveness. Now, if you're in the process of forgiving someone, well, I'll keep it focused on myself. When I was in the process, I am in the process of forgiving someone, and I have forgiven several people. But I found that in order to completely heal, I had to see and take responsibility for my part in what happened. I had to find my part, first of all, because, of course, we're focused on how much they hurt us. I was focused on how much they hurt me, and I was angry, and I was hurt, and I felt betrayed, and everything like that. But I had to come to realize that I allowed that to happen. I ignored the red flags, and I chose to stay in that situation. And even though I saw where it was going, I still chose to remain in that situation. So I have to take responsibility for that. I didn't value myself enough to get myself out of harm's way. I saw the wave coming, right? And I just kept with it. So I have to take responsibility. Why do I have to take responsibility? Because I don't want it to happen again with someone else. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to avoid that from happening, is if I... Oh! Sorry about that. My little kitty chose to knock down my whole paint on the floor. Anyway, I got it. So anyway, yeah, I have to, in order to not repeat those destructive patterns, I have to recognize my part in things. Why am I always trying to save everyone? Why are their feelings more important to me than my feelings? So I had to take responsibility for that so I won't repeat old patterns. That's why that's very, very important. It's kind of hard to look at yourself. It is hard, but it's not impossible. I did it, and it really worked out for me. It's part of healing because you're giving yourself more integrity, and you're giving yourself an opportunity for growth. When you take responsibility, it's a complete opportunity to grow and learn and forgive yourself too. I looked up the word forgiveness because I always look up, even though I think I know what it is, but I make sure that I look it up anyway. And it said it's letting go of getting revenge from someone and letting go of the feelings that you have of anger against them. That's what forgiveness is. Now, you also have to do that with yourself. I also had to do that with myself. I had to accept the fact that it happened and forgive myself for putting myself in harm's way, and so I could move on. And I have moved on, and I'm still in the process of forgiving some people, and it's been really, really hard, but I'm doing it, and you can do it too. People tell us exactly who they are by the things they do, not what they say. And look at what people do. Pay attention to what people do, and you'll find that it's very easy to see exactly who a person is. Not by the things they told you they do, but by the things you see them do. Especially the things you see them do that when they don't know you're looking. That's most important. And also, take into account the opinions of people that you respect, in the sense that if someone, maybe your family member, someone tells you they don't like that person, or that person makes them feel uneasy, listen to them, because they're probably right. Or if your family's somewhat disapproving of that person, that could be something you might want to look at. So pay attention. It's not about, oh, it's none of their business, blah, blah, blah. When your family loves you, they're looking out for your best interest in mind. They have your best interest in mind. Look, I'm painting with my nail. And, and that's what you want to do. The more peace and serenity you can have in your life, the better. And staying out of harm's way is part of that peace and serenity. If you can avoid having conflict. Now, some people, you can't really avoid, like family members. But let me tell you something. My brother and sister and I, we have gone through a lot together, and we forgive each other. We chose to forgive each other. We still deal with each other. We just wished each other a Happy New Year. We tell each other we love each other. And we've done a lot of stuff to each other that, we did at the time. People do stupid stuff. And so, yeah, some people do deserve second chances. Some people don't. So you're going to have to decipher that for yourself. But please, I really had to look at my part in things and say, you know what? Yeah, I did let that happen. And as painful as that was to recognize, I did expect this person to get it and change. And was that right of me to try to change another person? I don't know. I thought I was helping them and changing them for the better, but they didn't want that change. The person has to want to change in order to change. You can't change someone. You can't come in and you especially can't, you think you're going to give your all to someone and they're going to appreciate it. You think if I come into this person's life and I teach them how to dress, teach them how to navigate the world, they're going to really appreciate it and they're going to love me someday. That's not always the case. A lot of times they resent you, especially if you give it all too easily. It's human nature not to appreciate something that comes too easily. That's the way we all are. If we worked hard to buy that car, we will take care of it. But if someone just gave it to us and it comes so easy to us, then we just feel like, whatever. I'll get another car, whatever. So remember that. Think about experiences you've had when things have come too easy and you didn't really appreciate them. Now you might appreciate them much years later, but we usually don't appreciate people that are doormats. We don't respect them. You don't want to be a doormat. I have a horrible track record of letting men, in my case, in my life that took advantage of me. And after I did it for 26 years, I had 4 relationships after that and continued to do it. And until I finally stopped about 4 years ago, and I haven't dated since because I am working on myself. I did not want to continue that pattern of letting others take advantage of me. Now, I just had someone ask me out on a date, and I told him that I'm happy with the way my life is right now, and that thanks, but no thanks, because I'm continuing to work on myself. I want to get my issues resolved. And, I don't know, this person seems, oh, there she goes again. This person that asked me out is not conducive to my plan for myself. So I'm making my feelings, my goals, my priorities a priority. It's all about me. And I was gonna go to the date, and I was gonna just go along with it, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. But then I thought, no, I don't want to be agonizing over this, thinking, oh, geez, do I really want to go? What if he thinks this? What if he thinks that? I mean, I don't want to lead him on either. So I just texted him, and I was honest with him. But what I mean by that is that it's all about me today. I have to think about what's conducive to what plans do I have for me? And that when I do that, it makes me feel whole. It builds my self-esteem because I'm making myself the top priority in my life. And I know, that might sound silly to some people, but when you've been where I've been, it's growth. It's growth. I also give to people that appreciate me. Now, if I'm giving to someone and if I give a little bit and they don't appreciate that, I don't give more. I just don't, because you have to earn your way into my life. So I make it a top priority to remember that. If I have, to think about it, I won't say yes right away. That night, we all have our slips. That night when this person asked me out, I said yes right away. And that was a mistake. Then I think the next day I text him, or maybe later on that night I text him and said, look, I right now I'm just not a good time, and thank you, but no thank you. But I was proud of myself that I didn't wait to make that decision. I just went ahead and did it because I knew that I would start, pondering on it, and then all these old insecurities would come up, and it's just torturous. So I went ahead and did that for myself. I found that the more I stand up for myself, the more I grow and the more I feel whole. It's just, it's made a huge difference. I've worked really hard on this the last couple of years, and I'm going to continue to work hard on it. I expect to forgive this person that I've had a hard time forgiving, because there was a lot of hurt involved, and I really want to do that by the end of this year, maybe much sooner. I find that the busier I get doing other things besides thinking about whatever happened, the better it is, the easier it is for me. So I'm really working on looking at my part, changing my patterns, and moving forward, and not making that same mistake again. Because, I see a lot of older people, in their 50s, 60s, acting like teenagers, doing things that, geez, you think you would have learned by now, right? But it's because we repeat the old patterns a lot of times, because we always think, oh, it's them, it's not me. And we keep doing the same thing. And no, it can't be. And then we wonder why this keeps happening to us. Well, yeah, because because I kept putting myself in harm's way. Not doing that anymore. I had to stop. And sometimes it takes spending time alone and just completely stopping, and really looking at yourself, giving yourself time to heal, giving yourself time before jumping into another relationship, and letting your head clear before you're jumping into another relationship. You're going to go hide in another relationship, and get all foggy mind and doubtful, and why doesn't anybody love me? Well, you need to look at yourself. I needed to look at me and see what I was doing wrong. What were my insecurities? What vibe was I giving off to these people that wanted to constantly use me? Now, it's really hard, too, when you're a good woman. I'm good looking. I'm I'm a good cook. I'm a good housekeeper when I put my mind to it. So people see that. They see you're a good woman, you have a nice personality, you're loving, you're a good family woman. And they want a piece of that. And yeah, they should. They should want a piece of that. But just because I want a piece of that doesn't mean I have to give it. It doesn't mean that I'm available to everyone. And it's also not giving in right away to anyone that smiles at you. Just because someone asks you out on a date doesn't mean you have to go. Doesn't mean I have to go. I don't have to. And if you're a person struggling with this, you understand what I'm talking about. Now, someone else might say, this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I already stop that. Stop being mean to her. My dog's being mean to my cat for some reason. They love each other to death. But anyway, yeah, you just have to, I had to focus on me and take responsibility for my part. So I hope this helps someone out there. You will become whole. It'll build up your self-esteem if you just don't repeat the same patterns. It's time to do something different. And it's time to keep yourself safe. Now, the only people that I would say are never have a part in it are rape victims and especially children that were molested. They never have a part in it. If you were molested, they were wrong because they were the adult and you are the victim, but you can work through that victimhood too. But as far as taking responsibility for your part in things, any other situation, you do have a part in it. So please look for it because it will do you good and it will help you heal. And remember that most of all, that forgiving's for you, not for them. Okay, love you guys, much love, and appreciate the little things. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. All right, bye guys. Just one last thing, guys. There's a saying that says the best way to get over a man is to get up under another one, and that's absolutely not true. The best way to get over a man is to get to know yourself and to value yourself. That way you can choose and not be chosen. You're here to choose. You're not here to be chosen. You're not standing in a chorus line, waiting to be chosen. You're here to choose who your partner's going to be. And you should be very choosy. So remember that. You're here to choose, not to be chosen. And no, don't get up under another man because they're just going to, if you're already having problems, they're going to just make those problems worse. So just remember that. Don't believe all that dumb sayings that you hear. Okay? All right. Now I'm going. Okay, bye.